I will take you to a beautiful journey. A journey that starts in the United States and goes all the way to Africa. Kenya, more precisely, Kimilili. Kimilili is a little town 8 hours by bus to the north of Nairobi. My twin sister, a friend of ours, and myself, we went over there last Christmas to volunteer at a school for 300 orphans called CBSM, Community Breakthrough Support Mission. You might think, why should I travel to a place in the middle of nowhere? Let me tell you, this place is magical, and in a second you will understand why. Before we travel to Kimilili, we will go for a little detour. A few years ago, the Pew Research Center interviewed Americans what items they needed for life, what items they cannot live without. Before I ask you what you think is on top of that list, I'll tell you 3 obvious conclusions from that result. The first conclusion: the number of items on that list is growing every year. The second conclusion: items considered a luxury a few years ago are now moving to being a necessity. It's never the other way around. Third conclusion: I will hold back that one for another 2 minutes. Back to you. What do you think is on top of the list of items Americans cannot live without? Number 1 is the car. And here is the Kenyan response. There are no cars in Kimilili. If you need to transport something, you need to take animals or carry it yourself on top of your head. Another important item Americans cannot live without is air conditioning. I know it can get very hot in America, but believe me, it can get very hot in Africa as well. This is our school in Kimilili, where we volunteered over Christmas. Some of the students are taught under the burning sun, 35 degrees, as there are not enough classrooms for each class. Their response to an air conditioner is to find some shade or some water, like this little fellow. A third important item Americans cannot live without is a microwave. No need to tell you that there are no microwaves in Kimilili. This is our school cook. She cooks for 300 orphans every day in a little tiny room that gets burning hot. However, lunch is a huge motivation for the children to go to school, as very often rice and beans at school is their only meal per day. Other items on the list of things Americans need and cannot live without are a clothes dryer, a home computer, a cell phone, high-speed internet, a dishwasher, a flat-screen TV, an iPod, just to mention a few of the long list. Since our journey to Kimilili over Christmas, there is one thing we cannot live without anymore. Our dream to transform the mud huts into a proper permanent school building in order to give education, a chance and a future to our 300 orphans. During our stay in Kimilili, these kids that do not even have a proper school taught us many things. Most importantly, what life is all about. I still owe you the third most obvious conclusion from the research. Remember? Americans, as most other nations as well, are getting more and more unhappy every day. Here is the Kenyan response. And here is the Kenyan response in pictures. These children that do not have a car, an air conditioner or a microwave, and that are fighting for a glass of water every day, are smiling non-stop. If you would like to help these kids, please contact us or visit our webpage www.cbsm-kimilili.org. Thank you.